Hello, hi, I'm Sarah from The Upcoming. Such a pleasure to meet you. Maybe you could just begin with a brief introduction to all of us strangers and a bit about your role in making the film.
So I'm here for All of Us Strangers, and my name is Jonathon and I'm the editor.
And what can people expect when they watch this film?
It's a good question. I'm about to see it with an audience, so we'll see what, my expectation is that ideally they'll, my ideal thing is that they really, really enjoy the film and they have, a strong emotional reaction to it.
And Andrew Haigh, such an incredible director. What was it like working with him on this film?
Well, I feel really lucky. I've worked with Andrew for over 10 years, so I have, we share a real sensibility about the world, and the material is always so incredibly rich. It's the real depth of substance, and it was great working with him, and it's always great working with him. We have a lot of fun. It's a lot of work, but I think I feel really spoiled working with him.
And as always, kind of, opportunities, but absolutely maybe challenges as well of adapting a novel. When you first read that book, did you envision, what Andrew was going to do with it? And I guess obviously made some key changes, quite loosely based.
Yes, it's very loosely based. In a way, I knew when I read the novel that maybe it actually, wasn't going to be quite the same. And Andrew had spoken to me about it, and he said, I'm changing it. It's going to be a gay story, and it's going to be, fewer genre elements and stuff. So I had a sense, but because it's loosely based, I wasn't sure where he was going with it. But I was really, really excited when I read the script, and I was like, "Oh, you took it here." I couldn't have predicted that.
And in terms of the look and feel, having this kind of movement from kind of realism to magic realism, and what kind of space does that put the audience in?
Well, I think it's interesting. I think part of it is us discovering what space the audience is in that. It's, some of it is anchored and rooted in, really contemporary life, and this other part of it being rooted in this more supernatural. It's a really tough thing to weave, and I think for the audience, I think it's like an unfolding, and it's a discovering of this kind of magic, I suppose. And I think our goal was always to play between those two feelings and have the audience not really know until they suddenly are like, oh, this is what's happening. So it's kind of was have the audience occupy both of those spaces.
And it's a bit of a who's who in terms of, the British talent and, particularly Andrew and Paul. What was it like seeing their performances?
It was incredible. I felt spoiled every day working with, Andrew and Paul and Claire and Jamie. When you have actors like that and you get footage like that, you're just like, everything is good, and it's trying to figure out, okay, what's the best way to craft those best performances, because sometimes in the cutting room you're not spoiled and you're crafting a performance, you're really working with it, but this didn't require that kind of wrestling. It was just, I felt super spoiled. It was like the riches of what I was given. So it was super fun, it was super exciting.
And from that aspect, in terms of your particular responsibility, was that almost the biggest challenge, having too much good stuff to work with?
Well, it is a challenge in a way, because I think, people think that as an editor you just throw down the best performances, but when, Claire or Andrew is giving you this really nuanced set of performances over 6 or 7 different takes, what do you use, and how do you use that over the course of the scene, over the course of the film? It's not as simple as it seems, and those things all have to be calibrated. So you're grabbing bits and pieces from everywhere in order to create something that actually makes emotional sense. So, it wasn't tough. It was tough in a very different kind of way than what it typically is, because they're all incredible. They really are.
And finally, what do you hope people will take away from watching the film? Dealing with grief, loss, also this theme of homophobia. So there's a lot to take from it.
Well, I think what's great about the film is that it works on a very niche level in terms of a queer and a gay audience. And as an audience, of loneliness, meditation, it's a meditation on grief and on loss. And I think what's great about it has this kind of niche element, but it also has this, or what people would think is a niche element, and it has this universal thing. And I think my hope is that, it plays for all audiences, and they all kind of take from those things in multiple ways.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Really enjoyed the night. Thanks for your time.